thematic session on demand management and water use efficiency. And I have the proud privilege in inviting on stage our distinguished chair for the session, Brigadier Dr. B.D. Mishra Retired, Honorable Lieutenant Governor, Government of Ladakh. Let's put our hands together to welcome our distinguished chair onto the stage, please. Inviting eminent speakers, I have the privilege to invite Ms. Archana Verma, IAS, Additional Secretary and Mission Director, National Water Mission, Department of Water Resources, River Development and Ganga Rejuvenation. An extra round of applause for Ms. Archana Verma. She has been the person working really hard for more than a month now, maybe many more months. Let's welcome ma'am onto the stage, ladies and gentlemen. Inviting Shri Franklin L. Kobung, IAS, Joint Secretary, Department of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, warm welcome. Inviting Dr. Kailash Shinde, IAS, Commissioner and Administrator of Navi Mumbai Municipal Corporation, warm welcome, sir. Inviting Ms. Shilpa Shinde, IAS, CEO, Delhi Jal Board, very warm welcome. And also inviting Ms. Kiran Gurele, IAS, MD, JGM, Tamil Nadu. Namaskar and a very warm welcome to all our esteemed dignitaries, speakers and participants to thematic session 5, Demand Management and Water Use Efficiency. This session will focus on sector-wise best practices, circular water use and legal and institutional frameworks to strengthen water conservation efforts and enhance efficiency. Presiding over this session as our distinguished chair, we have the privilege of having with us Brigadier Dr. B.D. Mishra, Honorable Lieutenant Governor, Ladakh, who is a visionary leader ensuring sustainable water conservation efforts in the high altitude regions of Ladakh. And I have the proud privilege in inviting Your Excellency for the opening remarks, sir.
Honorable Dais, Honorable delegates, respected Sabhagar, ladies and gentlemen. As I stand here today for this session, my first compliments and thoughts go to Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji. For good 75 years in our country, there was a lip service being paid to this very aspect of water management. Nobody really got down to it seriously. But our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, having realized the significance of water for present and future generations, has made it a point to drive hope to everybody that water is the true elixir of life. You cannot exist, you cannot survive unless you are managing your water. And hence, we have such conferences like the one we are attending today. Ladies and gentlemen, his approach to this problem has been down to earth. He says, and I quote, he says, when you go to hand wash basin in the morning to brush your teeth, When you dampen your foot toothbrush and thereafter you start brushing your teeth, do you close the tap or you continue to let it flow till you have finished your toothbrushing? Now that kind of acumen, that kind of delicate study for this important issue, for this important element of life, water, is in him. And we derive inspiration from him and from his modules and his directives. Ladies and gentlemen, water as an essential element of life has been realized in our country from time immemorial. In Vedas, there is a Vedic anthem. And the Vedic anthem, it is in 8 lines. And in that, the 6th line of it talks about the importance of water. And I quote, "A Brahman Brahmano Brahmavarsi Jayatam, A Rashtre Rajanya Shuro Ishabyo Ativyadhi Maharatho Jayatam, Dondhi Dhenu Bodh Nadvan Asho Sapti, Purandhir Esha Jeshtu Ratheshtha, Sabhayo Yuvashya Yajmanasya Biro Jayatam, Nikame Nikame Na Parjanyo Varshantu, Falvatyo Na Oshadhyo Pachatam, Yoga Kshemo Na Kalpatam." Now these are 8 lines of Vedic national anthem. In that, the first wish or prayer is for good educators, teachers, then is for the competent army, then is the milk yielding cows and good animals, and then is the most caring mothers, and thereafter is for the youth, bright youth. And then it says, Nikame Nikame Na Parjanyo Varshantu. It means that all the clouds which come over my country, they should be full of water. And then it says, Phalvatyono Ushadhyo Pachatam, herbs and fruits should be in plenty, and there should be no dearth of well-being. There should be no depletion in the well-being of the people. Now that is how we have started caring for the water from ancient times. Gentlemen, when we talk about environment, we say Jal Vayu. And in that, we put Jal first and Vayu, which is prana, which is life itself, we put Vayu later. And it has a meaning, because Jal sustains you. Now, this conference is Water Ministers' Conference. And saying Water Ministers' Conference, probably one may get away with the idea that's a lighter thing. It's a thinner thing. There are very many other ministries which are thicker, which are heavier, but it's not so. Actually, we in Army, when we talk about the defense of Southeast Asia, we say that probably the next war here in South Asia may be for water. And therefore, we have got to be prepared, and we have got to preserve this water and defend it. Not only preserve it, but defend it. And that is the issue that we must be aware of today. Ladakh. Ladakh is a high altitude area, the place, the territory of mine. It's a high altitude area. It is at 11,562 feet. That is the altitude above the mean sea level of Ladakh. Walking there, when you walk there, you feel lack of oxygen. You start panting. Our population, our population is on the hilltops, and the streams flow down below. and our area is 59,146 square kilometers. So how do you manage water? So when I took oath as Lieutenant Governor of Ladakh more than 2 years back, I was seized of it. And I said that how do I manage in Ladakh to have water 30 years hence, that is one generation. How my next generation, how do they have water? So I started planning for it. And the quintessence of this entire conference I kept in my mind, and that is what I'm working on. And that is collect maximum water, spend water judiciously, maximize the impact of water, and for doing all that, use the technology. With that, I am driving myself to ensure that my next generation and 30 years hence, they have water aplenty, and that too for every purpose, be it drinking, be it agriculture, be it for animals, be it for washing, or any other requirement. Ladies and gentlemen, Modi ji, Honorable Prime Minister of India, he has not made water management as a subject. He has made it a movement. And you always require a movement to take any issue forward and sustain it. Unless it is a movement, you can take forward all right, but you cannot sustain it. He has also keenly taken on that the old concept of water use, that is pani ki tarah baha diya, that is changing. He wants to change that concept, and he says jal sanchay zyada jaruri hai. And that is how we are progressing. Now, gentlemen, from here, from this conference, what do we carry home? What do we carry home from here? We carry home one thing, and that is when we go home, we tell our children that, look, Jal Sanchay is very important. And unless we carry home that, and we tell our posterity, we tell our children that, look, it is important, we are not really taking any advantage of this gathering and of this discussion. I'm reminded of a poem of Alfred Lord Tennyson, and the caption of the poem is The Brook. And I quote, he says, I come from the haunts of coot and hern. I come from the haunts of coot and hern. I make a sudden sally. I sparkle out among the fern to becker down the valley. I sparkle out among the fern to becker down the valley. And then he culminates it, and then he concludes, for men may come, and men may go, but I go on forever. And therefore, we have got to ensure, and we have got to imbibe that inspiration, that our rivers and brooks, these flow sparkling all along every time we may come and we may go. And I hope that the latest determination and the latest declaration of the administration, new administration of UT, will also sparkle the river Yamuna. And with that, Ganga as it is has been taken up for sparkling. Yamuna also will be taken up for that. Gentlemen, today, as I conclude my opening remarks, I am reminded, and I want to quote a sher, And this is a share which I'm sure everybody in the audience would like, and my Gujarati brethren, they will enjoy it. And it is, यह दास्तां साबरमती नदी की है, यह दास्तां साबरमती नदी की है, तो आपने कभी सुना है क्या? यह दास्तां साबरमती नदी की है, तो आपने कभी सुना है क्या? जब प्यासी सूखी पड़ी थी वह, जब प्यासी सूखी पड़ी थी वह, ये दरियाए नर्मदा से मिला दिया, इसे दरियाए नर्मदा से मिला दिया. थैंक यू.
Thank you very much indeed, Your Excellency, for those wonderful opening remarks.